Hi everyone, this is Heather from CannaConsumer magazine, and today we are going to log on to HelloMD and go through the process of getting a recommendation in the state of California. I am waiving my HIPAA rights, so I am doing this myself for my own condition. Many of you know that I was diagnosed with systemic lupus back in 2001, and so I have definitely for many years now had a qualifying diagnosis. So at this point, we are, for the purpose of our readers, going to offer an opportunity to see how the entire process works. So here we go. This is the first page of HelloMD, and I did already set up an account, simple, with an email address and a password, no big deal. I'm a California resident, so California residents are going to get started here. Get your medical marijuana recommendations, simple, easy, and 100% online. Get started. Okay, thank you for registering. To activate your account, go to your email and click on the link that has been sent to you. If you don't receive it in a few minutes, check your spam folder. I'm actually going to multitask a little bit and do that through my phone while we're waiting. So if we take a quick break, that it might take a minute, and that would be why. Okay, so we had a slight problem with getting the account activated. Beware, make sure you have enough time to be able to do this if you've never signed up with their account. However, Ryan, who is one of their customer service reps, has been wonderful and went ahead and confirmed my account, and now we can move on to the next step, which is basic information. So okay, so now we're on to the second page. Ashley is reminding me that the information that we enter here is completely confidential, and it's only between the patient and the doctor, which is good to know. I'm going to close that, and it looks like the problems or conditions which most people seem to have, I'm assuming, are AIDS, anorexia, arthritis. You can see all the ones at the top. I'm going to put in that I have another condition, and my other condition is systemic lupus. I experience exhaustion, chronic pain. You can see my hands are hurting today. I'm trying, so it's difficult for me to type, so I apologize for how long it's taking. Exhaustion, chronic pain. How about chronic joint pain? Chronic muscle pain. Skin pain. Stomach issues. Are you taking any other medications? At this time, I'm only taking over-the-counter Motrin. And actually that's it. Over the counter, no trend. Oh, and cannabis. Oh, let's leave cannabis off maybe. Are you pregnant? No. You breastfeeding? No. Do I have diabetes? No. Wait. Am I breastfeeding? No. Diabetes? No. Ever been diagnosed with high blood pressure? No. Do I have allergies? No. I am 5 foot, 8 inches. Do I smoke cigarettes? No. Do I drink alcohol? Occasionally. I would say rarely because of my condition. Alcohol is really not good for people who have chronic illness. Do I take recreational drugs? No. I have a family history of heart disease, cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure, arthritis. Have you ever experienced or been diagnosed with depression? No. Schizophrenia, depression, diagnosis at 15, but not on any antidepressants. Now, okay, please upload any medical records you'd like to share with your doctor that may be helpful for my consultation. It's not required. I wasn't prepared to upload any documents. However, I have them if they need them in the future. Provided, but was not prepared to do so, period. I have read and agreed to HelloMD's terms. I consent to the consultation via live telehealth video. We're going to allow the look cute, snap. We're going to crop it. Ah, so here's my potential cannabis card. How exciting is that? And continue. Okay, need a copy of my driver's license, so I will get that going. Okay, so I'm back. We're gonna take a picture. Wait, hold on, I gotta go down here so that I can snap it. I have a promo code, although it appears that a consultation fee will be $59, which actually is really not bad. Okay, so to meet with your doctor, you need to install a video conferencing application. So we're going to install the video conferencing. As you can see, it's downloaded and installing at the moment. Hi, Veronica.
Hi, Heather.
How are you?
Hi, Heather. I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So making sure the doctor knows I've just hung up with Pamela and that I'm videotaping this for the purpose of our magazine, and so make sure that the doctor's alerted to that.
I did mention it to the doctor. She's actually finishing up with another patient at the moment, so I haven't quite gotten the okay from her just yet. Okay. But knowing this particular doctor, I think she'll be all right with it. But if you don't mind, once she's done with the current patient, it should be fine. We'll be able to get you connected right away.
Great.
Did you have any general questions for me beforehand?
Do you have a moment? Do you have a moment?
Yeah,
okay.
Totally.
Perfect. So what has been your experience in working with HelloMD?
Actually very great.
That's good.
I know that's kind of unheard of. Most people don't like their jobs, but I really like my job.
What is your favorite part about your job?
I really, oh gosh, this is going to sound really corny, but I really do enjoy helping people, especially on a subject that I am personally familiar with. Mm-hmm. It really does help. And it also is kind of cool to help, educate people, kind of help them relax, eliminate the stigma a little bit, it is really interesting how, it really is kind of a bit of a community plan. It really does bring people together and kind of open their minds a little bit. So it is pretty cool to see how it affects people positively. Right. I really do enjoy that.
So do you get any people that are kind of suspicious of the process when they start, or most people?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
All the time. At least once a day we will have somebody ask, is this real? Is this a scam? Or, how do I know I can trust you guys? Which is, part of...
We're good. Okay.
Okay, sorry. Sounds like my headset was trying to cut out a little bit.
No, that's, yeah.
Repeat anything. All the time, people are always suspicious. We get this is too good to be true message pretty often. But also too, it goes back to that whole educating people. Mm-hmm. Most people are not aware that telehealth is even available. It is pretty cool, and we are reaching out to a whole bunch of people who unfortunately do not have the ability or do not have access to go physically into a doctor's service to meet with somebody. We do cater to a lot of those people who, either they just financially cannot make it or just physically unable to, or they just don't have the time. We actually do get a couple of phone calls from people who are like, oh, I'm on my lunch break, so I'll have to call back later.
That's good. That's helpful to know that there are people who are trying to do this on their lunch break, because I rather that people have a recommendation. It's ultimately going to be so much more protective for them than I don't have time, I can't do it today, all of the normal excuses that we give to all of the other stuff that we just put off on a daily basis, So that's
exactly,
good.
Yeah. And we do get a lot of people who sometimes, they start the process, and then they'll say like, oh, something came up, I've got to come back and do that again. Which is also another awesome option. You can't really go to the doctor's office and be like, this is taking too long, I've got to come back later.
Right. That's always nice.
So, this is kind of nice to do carry to like the busy person. There's a lot more flexibility this way,
right.
For a lot of patients. And, in California, having flexibility and being busy is not, those two aren't far apart from each other.
So do you get a lot of legal questions? Do you get very often?
We do get a handful of legal questions. I wouldn't say a lot,
okay.
But, unfortunately, we do try to let people know that we are not legal consultants.
Right.
Right off the bat.
Right. What I'm wondering is, you guys have now opened up in New York, correct? Hasn't that just recently happened?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So do you have to, do you have to be knowledgeable, or do people ask you the differences between California law and, say, New York law, and how to stay safe? Or do you have a mechanism to put them off to another location, say on the website, where it will give them better information? Or how does that work for you guys?
I would say that we do have to be familiar with the differences between California and New York, because they are polar opposites almost. But we do have some sections on our website. We do have the About Us for New York, as well as for California. We even have a couple of videos with our Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Perry Solomon. They recorded a few videos for New York as well. And, that is kind of how people get a head start on what the differences are. It's not necessarily like California in New York, where you can get your recommendation and visit your dispensary and kind of have a free-for-all and just decide what you would like to get.
Right.
Unfortunately, in New York, you are limited to what you can purchase. But it is a fairly new program in New York State, so I'm sure eventually, as time passes, as time goes on, we'll be able to expand on that. Maybe it'll be a little bit more like California, but people do forget that the California medical marijuana system has been around for
20 years,
more than 30 years now, which is a long time.
Yeah. My family started in cannabis in 1999. My mom was the third doctor to ever write recommendations. Wow. Yeah, so I've seen a lot, and I agree with you. I think that we, as Californians, we push the boundaries, and therefore, with the, policymakers really kind of ignoring the pushing of the boundaries, we kind of got a lot accomplished. And then it was like, once that genie was out of the bottle, then they had to create laws in order to deal with all of the boundary pushing.
Exactly.
And New Yorkers will probably do something similar. They kind of have those personalities of pushing the boundaries, and confronting issues. So
yeah, exactly.
I agree with you, absolutely.
Well, also too, I'm sure what a lot of it, once they realize that there is this demand for cannabis, I'm sure it's definitely going to change the rules to accommodate that demand.
Oh, yeah.
I think just earlier this week, I think New York passed a few vaping laws to kind of restrict where you can consume, and I think how much you can purchase, actually, or no, excuse me, where you can purchase. I believe vape stores have to have a license in order to sell now, which again goes back to that whole managing, make sure that it's being done properly.
Yeah.
But yeah, New York's on their way. They'll be on our tail soon.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're pushy kind of people for sure. It's awesome. I'm excited to see what they do. Yeah, it's super fun. Anything else that you want to just add about what you guys do, the things that you come across, common questions that you get, those types of things?
The biggest one that does come up is what's going to happen come January.
Okay.
With the passing of Proposition 64. What most people need to know, well, actually, not what most people, everyone needs to know that medical marijuana and recreational marijuana are going to remain separate systems. So, unfortunately, a recreational patient will not be able to walk into a medicinal dispensary without the medical marijuana recommendation. Also, it's totally up to the medical dispensary whether or not they want to cater to recreational patients. Totally up to them if they decide they want to have a recreational market. But medicinal patients, of course, recreational, you can walk into that dispensary if you like. Unfortunately, it is going to remain separate. Right now, the way the law is written, I'm afraid recreational patients won't have access to samples like medicinal patients. So, like demo days, this won't be a thing for recreational patients. And right now, it sounds like recreational patients will not have access to as many products, at least to start, because it is a bit of a newer market. So, a lot of people will be deciding whether or not they want to make that switch. I believe licenses for recreational businesses won't start being offered until the beginning of January. So we won't really actually see that switch from medicinal dispensaries, not right away, unfortunately, because it is a bit of a process.
So what I can say is that the staff is really helpful and very nice and sweet, and conversation flows easily. They're very upbeat, especially for people who, that's always nice when you're in pain, not feeling good. The thing you want to come up against is somebody who's got a great attitude, is there to help you, is happy to help you, and Veronica is definitely the kind of person.
Hi, Heather.
Hi, Dr. Olson. Thank you for seeing me.
Yeah, sorry it took me a while to get here. I happened to just walk in with a person, and it was like his first time to get this, so he had lots of questions.
Oh, understandable.
So how can I help you?
So I'm seeking a recommendation today, and I know that Veronica and I believe Pamela might have let you know that I'm the editor-in-chief of CannaConsumer magazine. So I'm doing this on video. I'm waiving my HIPPA rights so that we can show these medical patients, how easy it is to use your service and how friendly and reliable and wonderful you guys are. I'm very happy so far.
Okay, great. So have you used cannabis before?
I have, yes.
Great. Have you had a recommendation for your use?
Yes, I have, since approximately 2000.
Okay, excellent. So are you using indicas, sativas, or CBDs?
My personal choice is high CBD indicas, because sativas do not work so well for me and cause a lot of anxiety for me.
Yes, and so that choice is excellent. You can even do CBDs during the day and indica at night. But when you do extra CBDs, that balances the extra THC that's in your indica, and the CBDs joining with the high THC in the indica will actually make a much better, stronger indica, because the CBDs and THC are closer in balance, and you will actually wake up refreshed because you did CBDs at the end of the day.
Wonderful. Thank you.
So if you have pain anywhere, and oftentimes with your diagnosis, there is a degree of pain, I found that by putting CBD dominant topical salves on, you actually can greatly minimize any pain in your body, especially if you put yourself on a 1-hour schedule of reapplying the salve, especially to the spine. And if you do that every day, every hour, during your waking hours, about 1 week later, your pain level shifts. And I've managed to completely eliminate pain from my body by doing that.
Okay.
So that's the basics. I mean, CBDs are the best in terms of getting rid of pain, muscle spasm, all inflammatory disease, any anxiety, depression. It protects your brain and neurological system. It helps you deal with stress better. It helps all digestive problems. It brightens your mood. It helps you sleep. It helps your immune system not attack you. It protects your heart, your blood pressure, your bones, keeps you from diabetes, greatly reduces your risk of cancers. And if you have cancer, it greatly reduces the metastatic chances with the cancer. And so CBDs are just great medicine.
Absolutely, I would agree.
And do you have any question about your use of cannabis?
I am not a big fan of smoke or smoking anything if I possibly could help it, and I'm looking for routes to ingest cannabis as an alternative to smoking, and don't know a lot about tinctures at the moment.
Well, actually, I love tinctures, and I attribute tinctures to having saved my life, but that's a personal story.
Okay.
Yes, I had a sense that I had cancer, and so I started slamming high doses of CBDs, about 100 milligrams every night.
Okay.
And it took about 2 months for the doctors to find the cancer, even though I sort of said, look down there. Okay. And by the time they found it, missed it, whatever you want to call it, it was this big. It was a deadly tumor, and it hadn't spread at all. And I attribute that because I was taking high-dose CBDs. And I'm very happy I did. But I also want to caution that we're all at danger because none of us have adequate vitamin D in our lives anymore. Okay. And that is huge when it is. So I encourage people to up their vitamin D and their CBDs. And then the THC to me is like icing on a cake. Icing makes cake a lot more fun and interesting, but it's not necessary to eat cake. Okay. Right. It just makes life more fun. And so use your CBDs to get well, and play with your THC rather than alcohol, because we all know it's much safer than alcohol.
I love
You know, the only thing I can say is it gets upright and personal when it's you or your family member.
Absolutely. Absolutely.